Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I've got two quick things to say before I get into this video. Number one, sorry about any noises, it's absolutely boiling hot and I've got the window open and my neighbours are kindly having a skip delivered, so that's great. And number two is I'm fully aware I look awful, like hands down I know. So I will explain a bit further into that now. For probably about the last 10-ish weeks, I have been in excruciating amounts of pain with my left hip. I'm not entirely sure. For weeks and weeks we have been trying to get a diagnosis, millions of blood tests, x-rays, doctor's appointments, hospital appointments and trips to A&E later. I finally got somewhere. The pain has been constant for the past 8 weeks, 9 weeks now probably, a long time. It's got to the point where I can't lay down comfortably, I can't sit down comfortably, I can't walk unaided, so I'm constantly relying on my stick for short distances, crutches for slightly longer distances, and my wheelchair for anything probably more than 50 feet. The pain has been put down to numerous things. I've been told so many things, that it could just be growing pains, that there was potentially a diagnosis of fibromyalgia being thrown around. There was a lot of it was said, a lot of people assumed it would be psychological with me, my history of mental health, mental illness. I mean, obviously at times I was very, very concerned. Initially I was sent for an x-ray. Waited a long time for results and the x-ray came back showing a shadow on my pelvic bone on my left side. This instantly spun me into a panic because, you know, when you hear about it was put to me as an abnormality, you immediately think the worst. I had all types of things going through my head, like I didn't know what to do with myself. And then weeks later, I still had no information about what it was, what I should do about pain, and what was happening. So it was a very confusing time for me. I mean, I had quite an anxiety flare up, but I knew I had to stay strong because it wasn't doing anyone any favours with me worrying excessively. So on Tuesday, just gone, Tuesday the 7th of July, I went, June 7th of June, I went to A&E and basically explained a little bit about what was happening, the kind of pain I was feeling, about the abnormalities on x-ray. So I mean, it was a pretty desperate situation. I have been in excruciating amounts of pain and no reasoning for it, and it was absolutely driving me mad. But finally on Tuesday, the ball started rolling. I was sent for x-ray yet again, and when this x-ray came back, it was found I potentially had a fracture, which was, I don't know, I was quite relieved but still quite overwhelmed because I didn't really know what any of this means. So on Tuesday I was referred to the fracture and orthopaedic clinic, and I attended that clinic this morning and I was informed that I have got a fractured pelvic bone. We're not actually entirely sure how long it's been fractured for, but it is known as an insufficiency fracture, which is where there's a weakened spot in your bone, or your bones are generally quite weak and they break for seemingly no reason. So for now, I'm really relieved that I know that it is I've finally got a diagnosis, I can try and get on with things. So I'm also being referred to rheumatology, who will then try and look at the cause of the fracture. So the fracture link dealing with the fracture itself, I've got to go into our physio and rely on pain meds and all stuff like that. But eventually I will be like rehabilitated and be able to walk again, which is like wonderful news. But then the rheumatology department will be dealing with the causes, how we can prevent it happening again. But I've also currently been given a number of things that could have caused this. Potential thing is I had quite severely low vitamin D levels. I was put on vitamin D about 9 weeks ago, vitamin D3, 6,000 IUs of vitamin D3 a day, which is very high. So that could have contributed to my bone weakness, but also being an anorexia sufferer in the past, that could well have also impacted my bones. I mean, I was told this time and time again by different dietitians that I was doing huge amounts of damage to my bones, but at the time I didn't believe them. I thought they were just trying to scare me, but that is quite potentially the case, that I have weakened my bones significantly from anorexia. I'm just so relieved that I finally know what's happening. My head's been all over the place, that's why there's been no videos, not really any updates. But for once I really had to take care of my health, and that's not something I normally like doing. I knew I had to share this because I haven't really told anyone a lot about it. I've sort of been keeping it all a bit private because I didn't even know what's going on, and when people ask what's wrong and you don't know, you look like a bit of an idiot in my opinion. So I didn't want to give people false information or worry more people than necessary. So I'm now on the right path. I know what's wrong, I know we're finding out how to deal with it, and if it's potentially something a condition I have, or if it's just one of those things. But insufficiency fractures are generally common in elderly patients, people are generally over 60, which surprised me. So, you know, anyone can, it's not like, anyone can get things. Like, the brackets and age range and symptoms and stuff are all very vague, but I feel like I've had to fight incredibly hard for this diagnosis, and it really means something to me. I'm sorry this video was awful. I am extremely tired, sleep deprived, I can't even think straight, but I just knew I had to get this done because otherwise I would be reluctant to update ever. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the description box below. I will try and reply to most of you in your comments when I can, because for what I need, my word's gone. I need to take care of myself for a little while. So thank you very much for watching. Please like my Facebook page down below so you get all little updates and little statuses about my life. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye guys!